Hello, my name is Stephen Weigel, and today you'll be watching a video that is a recording and demonstration of my 9-tone equal-tempered piece, Tenacious Chorale. Microtonal music is something that I am very interested in exploring, and by a 20th century European definition, is simply music that is not tuned in the same way as our piano today. Microtonal music is very old, but for some people it has been a topic that breeds lots of discussion and new ideas because it doesn't get a lot of attention and exploration in a contemporary environment. Microtonality doesn't always sound out of tune, and it offers many interesting areas for exploration, contrary to popular belief. Classical guitarist and music composition teacher Derek Johnson was the faculty member who requested that I write this piece after I had written another 9-tone piece for him called In Our Own Little Worlds. So now, let's take a look at how Tenacious Chorale was created. Our piano uses 12-tone equal temperament, and this means that there are 12 notes equally spaced in the octave. Let me play a 12-note chromatic scale for you. You can count that there are 12 notes in there. Now, the scale that I'm using for this piece, one of them, is the 9-tone equal-tempered scale. So in the same way that there are 12 equally spaced notes in one octave for 12-tone, there are 9 equally spaced notes in an octave in 9-tone. So here is the 9-tone chromatic scale. See, only 9 notes there. When pitch gradation gets finer, we label things in terms of cents, which is just sort of a finer way to label things. An octave is 1200 cents. So then you can divide 1200 by your equal temperament number to get the number of cents that a smallest step has. So if 1200 is divided by 12 tone equal temperament, we get 100 cents per step. But in 9-tone, when we divide 1200 by 9, we get 133.3 repeating cents per step. And as a result, the step is slightly larger. The composition of Tenacious Chorale was different than In Our Own Little Worlds because it involves real instruments. And I'm a big fan of writing pieces for real instruments because I feel like that gets people involved. So, with Tenacious Chorale, I used 9-tone, not only because I liked it, but because I then discovered that it had a common property with 12, namely that it could divide by 3, and 12 could as well. This means that it's possible to play 9-tone music on a 12-tone equal-tempered guitar, and similarly, also possible to play 8-tone music on a 12-tone equal-tempered guitar because they both divide by 4. So the way I use this division is to only play the common 3-tone equal temperament, or the common factor of 3, between 9-tone and 12-tone. And this is done through the augmented chord. So I only play 0, 4, 8, and 12, and all of their octaves when I'm playing in 9-tone. And likewise, when I play in 8-tone, I only play 0, 3, 6, and 9. I'll demonstrate the 9-tone scale briefly, and I'll leave you to fill in the blanks about the 8-tone scale, which has a similar analog, but it's not quite the same. So with the 9-tone scale, I wanted to tune things consecutively because it's hard to play in this format if you're only playing 0, 4, 8, and 12. So the most convenient way to label things and tune them was to tune adjacent notes, and then you could easily play the chromatic scale by simply ascending 4, 8, and 12. Like this. Here's the first note of 9-tone, the second note of 9-tone, and the third note of 9-tone. So when I play these strings up 0, 0, 0, I get part of the chromatic scale, and then if I play up the 4s, I continue up it, and same with the 8s up to 12. So I can play the full 9-tone chromatic scale by barring 0, 4, 8, and 12 because the scale is just divided into 3 chunks, the common factor, like this. using guitar turned out to be a very likable format for the players because microtonal music is usually hard to read, and in this case, we had music that was fairly easy to read. As some of you may know, tab guitar notation is fairly popular. So I used tab to convey information to the players of this piece, who were Daniel Sitler on bass guitar and Sam Gordon on electric guitar. Thank you both. This information was easy to convey because they had to know nothing about the actual tuning system. They simply had to tune the strings and then read the tab, and the notes were also there with the rhythms. Regarding the tuning, I also prepared special tuning files that we would play each time on my computer before we started practice. We would practice every Monday, and our hard work paid off and the performance was a great success. I also notated 12-tone cent deviations into the music. This was for the actual staff involving rhythms and not the tab part of the staff. Now, cent deviations are often a little bit difficult to notate because you simply use an arrow attached to the accidental and then write in the number of cents off it is. But in 9 and 8-tone equal, all of the cent deviations can be expressed as either 33, 50, or not at all, 0. So that made the writing very easy. I also decided to do a studio recording of this piece, which is the one you'll hear today, because although the performance was excellent, there was a clarity that it lacked, and I would like to have the quality of a studio performance. It is especially important to be clear with microtonal music because if you're not, then the listener might think, well, this is out of tune since it's unclear. So now the video I'm going to present to you along with the music is the studio recording of Tenacious Chorale, recorded in Studio 2 MMP Studios using direct inputs and microphones. Here is the result of all of that hard work.